What's up? You know what time it is. It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show. Also, your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And it's Monday morning. Some things that I got on my plate today, I think it should be Mental Health Monday. Because I've seen so much stuff happen over the weekend. People shooting and people these guns and shooting women, shooting men. I mean, it's just all over the place. I mean, it's unbelievable believable to me. Mental Health Monday. Let's get our mentals up, y'all, and do me a favor right now. Let's text, tag, tell, share the show right now with everybody. And hey, everybody. And I want you to make sure, because I had a conversation with my barber this weekend, and we was just talking. He just, I was just trying. I asked him a question, Tamika. I said, "What's the dynamic? What's the dynamic?" And I'm gonna share my starting five in a minute. But Karen, I asked him. I said, "What's the dynamic?" Because we was talking about our show. You know, my barber, I mean, he was one of my biggest critics and just telling me how to do things on the show. And he said some key, because I said, what's the dynamic? We got thousands of friends on Facebook, but we don't have the same amount of subscribers on YouTube. What's up, Marcus? Uh, And he said something like, man, some people don't want to see you win. I said, it's not about us winning. We've already won. So I don't really think it's that. Man, Jimmy, we've already won. That what affords us to be able to come here for 8 hours, 10 hours a week doing with overtime and just pour out our time and give our time. So we've already won. I want to know, maybe y'all know, what is the dynamic? And guess what he did? He reached for his phone. He said, before I talk, let me make sure I'm a subscriber. And guess what? He subscribed a long time ago. But it was just unique. Text, tag, share every time you watch some on this show. Text, tag. I mean, are you ashamed of letting people know you watch the show? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out the dynamic, Trey Phillips, that we can have thousands of people on Facebook being your friend, but they don't subscribe on the other channel. Let me fix my I mean, maybe y'all know. I don't know. I mean, it's just me. It's my barber was talking the other day, and it's just curious to me. But what's up, everybody? Let me shout out to my starting five, because we got a great show. We got a lot of people. We got a lot of things we got to cover. We have special guests coming on in the second half of the show. But my starting five today is Chris Charles, Alex Costero, Thad Moody, Rod Wells, and Little Rick Wilmore. I mean, I'm just watching stuff. I mean, I see the PGW stuff is went. Tried to tell y'all, Mindy Collins, Matt Verdon, I've been talking about how this stuff gonna escalate, these PGWs, how this stuff gonna escalate over the months and over the years. You know, and now as a dad, they shot a kid. We'll talk about it a little bit. They shot the coach because his son didn't get a playing time. And let me tell you something, man. And Darryl Barnes, and I'm not trying to sell YouTube. My dynamic is, if you are a friend on Facebook, just give me a reason why you're not a subscriber on YouTube. I'm not trying to. I'm just asking. I'm asking for me. I don't care. You know, I don't want to hear no excuses about, well, YouTube is more interactive. I ain't trying to sell it. I'm just asking a question. Why? That's all. I mean, he mentioned it to me, and it just, and it made me, I mean, it made you say, like Arsenio Hall used to do, it made you say, hmm. Uh, had no Trey Phillips said he had no PGW incidents at his tournament this week, and thank God he didn't. But you know, it was Trey. You're blessed. How they was wilding out at the tournament. Yes, at crossover, especially Dallas PGW. Okay, and I know it, and I know it. Marissa, I didn't say nothing about it. You can stay on Facebook till the cows come home. Listen to me. Listen. Why not go be a subscriber? I didn't say you got to watch it. Sometimes y'all got to listen to what people say. I didn't say you have to watch. Being a subscriber. I know it's easy, Facebook. You want to be people's friends, so guess what? You be friends so you can be nosy and see what people got going. I know that. But I'm asking on the Chop Shop, if you are a friend and watch this damn show every day, go over to YouTube and subscribe to it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to give excuses. I don't care about interactive. I don't care about interactive. You can interact with YouTube. All you got to do is mention the name. Who's on YouTube right now? Hey, Wesley Yates. What's going on, Wesley Yates? On YouTube. That's all I got to do is do that. You can interact. It might not pull up the person's handle, but you can. And all I'm asking, what's the dynamic? It might be something that we ain't covered. What's up? Look, he said, what's up, Hap? See, Wesley Yates, I can go right now on Facebook and on YouTube and say, what's up, Wesley Yates, and call his name out. So how is YouTube more interactive? You got me? Yo, I am just trying to figure this thing out. I'm trying to figure this thing out because I want y'all to have a better, like I explained to somebody. They said, Mr. Hatter, nobody never explained that to me. Let me explain it again. Marissa, for you. Hatter, come on, man. Let me explain something. YouTube is owned by Google. Okay? Google is the #1 search engine in the world. Thank you, Marissa. I love you, baby. Hey, Google is the #1 search engine in the world. What's up, Keith Fobb? I'm just giving you education because I explained that to somebody the other day. They did not know. They said, Robert, I did not know that. So YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. But until you get at a certain status of subscribers, they don't recognize you as much. You got to at least get to 1,000 for them to say, okay, he's serious. Now, let me explain something to y'all, YouTube people. Who I love y'all. Daryl Barnes, I'm going to show you why I love y'all. Last year, Marissa, there were 1 million minutes watched on YouTube only. 1 million minutes watched. So that means when you come on YouTube, see, what you got to realize about Facebook and YouTube. Let me give you the difference. On Facebook, you ain't coming on there to look at no video. You coming over there to see what your friends did, what everybody, and then if a video pop up, you'll take a look at it. Okay? You're not coming on Facebook to watch a video. Thank you, Jess. When you come on YouTube, guess what you dare to do? Watch a video. You are they said prone. I'm just going by what analysts say, you're prone to watch it more because you came there to watch a video. You follow me? So that's all, y'all. I didn't realize, I had this information, and hold up, y'all, Darryl Barnes, I didn't always have this information. I had to learn this information. All of this stuff I'm learning, y'all, in the last year. We just started doing a YouTube about a year and something. So we used to be on Facebook all the time, but Facebook don't care. YouTube cares, and their algorithms. If we reach a certain number, guess what? All they doing, they say, Robert, you got the viewership, but you got to get subscribers. And then it'll push it out to more people. You remember the largest search engines in the world. Okay? All right, let's go. Okay, I got a couple things for y'all before Jimmy get here. Where I want to go. Thank you, Marissa. Marissa, you helped me today. I appreciate that. I got something for you, though. I got something for you. And shout out to Keep Fob. Keep Fob, some of the ladies has received their stuff, their gift. From Women Rock Wednesday. Thank you. Matter of fact, some of them, they sent me a picture and said, thank you. They can't wait to work out. Shout out to Keep Fob with the Anthony Lawrence collection for hooking our ladies up. Hold up, y'all. I don't like my lighting. Something's going on with my lighting right here, y'all. I got something about that thing. I don't like. Hold on. I'm the light man. I got to get that lighting right, man. I don't like that lighting right there. Something I just didn't like. Something I didn't like. So thank you, Brad. See, I'm glad I said this then, because a lot of people didn't know. I'm glad. Brad, and tell a friend and tell another friend. Thank you, Lawrence. See, what if I hadn't never said, see, closed mouth never get fed. But let me go. A year ago, y'all, The Last Dance came out. Y'all remember we was right here on that show. I ain't even, oh, you ain't got yours yet, Kim? Well, you just hold on. Yours coming? Yes, yep, yours coming. Yeah, Kim, yours a little bit behind. They didn't have, it was something, yours coming, Kim. Keep Fob on there right now. He might tell you when it's coming. Would like to order another set. Of course, the Anthony Lawrence connection. A collection. I'm sorry, Sonya Billingsley. Those were some nice. Hey, those some nice outfit, man. What's up, Hatter? I knew this YouTube thing, bro. See, thank you, Paul. What up, Hatter? You know I'm new to this YouTube thing. Thank you, Paul. It's all Paul. I am just trying to make the platform much accessible to the rest of the world. You know, every time I went in the gym the other day and some guys didn't even know and live in Houston and didn't know the Chop Shop. And I didn't get mad. I just said, we got work to do. So a year ago, The Last Dance came out. It saved a lot of us because we wasn't getting no sports. It saved me. I know y'all that hated Michael Jordan. People hate, but I loved The Last Dance. A year ago today, it started. The closing arguments for the Derek Chauvin trial is today. And I got a question for y'all, man, because I keep hearing these coaches talking about the right way. I don't think I downloaded it, but I'm gonna download it. Everybody talking about the right way. Explain to me the right way. Then we're gonna talk about the PGW. You got a guy up in Ohio, Sandusky, Ohio, up there shooting the coach of his son. We're gonna talk about that later. And then I want to shout out to Chandler Jacobs, y'all. Chandler Jacobs, a Division III All-American and the most coveted non-D1 prospect in the transfer portal. His dad watched the show faithfully, claiming Jacobs. He is going to be committed. Division III, Wesley Yates, Division III, and he is committed to play at Texas Tech next year. Oh my God, unbelievable. Shout out to Chandler. And let me tell you something. Jimmy done came in. Now I can't believe he came this early, but he here. Hold on. But shout out to Chandler Jacobs, man, I am so proud. That kid went D3, didn't get nobody no problems, and went up there and became a D3 All-American, and now he's in the Big 12. From D3 to the Big 12, that's what we're going to call it. Jimmy, let me see what I got you back there. I think your background all right. We can bring you in now. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you already. Jim Hicks, yeah. All right, let me bring you in, Jimmy. What's going on, man? Your boy Chandler Jacobs. Look, we're in uniform today. Your boy Chandler. You remember Nike used to have us wearing the same shirts every day. But
Yeah.
but Chandler Jacobs, man. Jimmy, Division III for how many years? 3 years. 3 years. Now he get an extra year on it, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Wow. So he got 2 more years to play. So
I thought he was a senior.
But if he's a senior, okay. But he still
No,
get an extra year.
No, I'm saying 4 years. I thought he was a senior. 4 years.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. You got that. That's your job.
Yeah, 4 years. Remember, Elkins went to the state. Elkins went to state.
Hold up. Somebody
in
tried to correct
2017.
me. Hold on. Jimmy, somebody tried to correct me. But I'm just telling you what ESPN said. So I guess what's the guy's name up there? Who was that up there saying they trying to correct? It said D2. Well, ESPN said D3. Unless I can't see. Maybe it's D. I don't know what D it is. It's D something. It's D something, Jimmy. I don't care what D is. Hold on. Let me put my glasses on. Hold on. Okay.
That's what.
Okay. Hey, guess what? I apologize, DJ, because guess what? These peepers, when I put on these things, it was 2. But when I had these things off, it was 3. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I'm gonna tell it on myself. I apologize.
You need some of them red Foxes glasses off Harlem Night.
Yeah.
You need them red Foxes. You need them Fred Samples off Harlem Night.
I'm sorry, DJ, baby. I'm sorry. From D2. Hold up. From D2 to the Big 12.
Yeah.
Correct me, y'all. Thank you. Correct me.
And that's still a hell of a jump. And I'm interested because I know the Boom Boom Room. Shout out to you guys, man. What's going on? Let's take out the time right now. Everybody, let's get an early share in. Let's share the show on this Monday because today we got so much to go, especially with all of the PGWs that took place around the country. We're getting that shortly. But I'm curious, is Chandler Jacobs, before him, who was the last Division II player to go to the Big 12 on scholarship in basketball? That's the question. That's my question today. We're gonna pose it out there. Okay. Can anybody name if there was any previous player in men's basketball that went from Division II?
Oh, Jimmy, what is Presbyterian? That's where the kid at Baylor went to Presbyterian. I think that's a D2 or D3. I don't know. Presbyterian. What's the guard that comes off the bench, number 10?
The little fella.
Yeah. He went to Presbyterian.
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, y'all help me with his name. Tell him. Don't tell him I forgot.
This is a very distinguished fraternity that Chandler Jacobs becomes a part of. Yes. And remind you guys, he was in the 11th grade when Elkins went to the state tournament, I think in either 2016 or 17. I want to say 2017. 16, one of those 2 years. Well, Elkins, he was the underclassman on that team. Well, he goes up there. Many of you guys may remember the last name Jacobs. Of course, it's a common name, but his father had basketball pedigree to his resume, especially during his high school years. I take you guys back to the early 80s.
Okay.
When you had Carvin Holcomb, Stacy Belcher, Clement Pink, the little kid, what's his name? Jimmy Black. I think his last name, first name was Jimmy. Last name was Black.
Yeah.
Ricky Winslow. That team at Yates that went to state in 1983. Jacobs was part of the Yates basketball program during those times.
Oh, okay.
The father, Clayman Jacobs. Right? So once again, I want to remind you guys, the dad raised this young man. They didn't whine about nothing. During the process. To me, one day we owe it to the dad to get him on the chop shop. That way he can explain what was going through. I know it had to eat him up. Your son makes it to the state tournament in Texas at the highest classification. And then
did he play with Elkins? Play with Elkins? Play with Elkins, right?
No, Chandler played with Elkins.
That's what I'm talking about.
Remember the little kid? Remember the little kid that his dad played for the Houston Rockets a while back? He was a guard on that team. That was his teammate.
Oh, Bowie.
Chad Bowie. Chad Bowie was on that team. Well, this dad, Mr. Jacobs, didn't complain about nothing. Nathaniel. And they went, and this people understand that Dallas Baptist offered him. They didn't waste no time playing around. He's like, we're coming. Give us that. And I asked him back then, I said, man, what's going on? I said, man, look, it's a place where I can get to see my son play all the time. We visited the campus. He loved it. He connected with the coach. He felt that they had a good spirit. Rest is history. And he went up there and balled out. That's the whole, see, that's the thing. Why is it worked for him? It could work for others. And remember, Ada, we went back and talked to the dad, and he said, people, after he made Rookie of the Year in the conference, remember? Yeah. People were trying to lure Chandler Jacobs away from Dallas, from DBU way back then. They were trying to lure him away every single year. The Sharks were circling the boat. And they stayed the course, got a degree from there, and is about to go get another degree from somewhere else. He takes a check.
I love it.
So know what that means? 2 batches of alumni is going to love you.
I'm just trying to figure out, Jimmy, how many years. So he already he is finished 4 years at DBU already. He's finished. 4 years of eligibility. So he just had 1 year. Okay. He just grabbed 1 year. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to make sure. I'm trying to squeeze him out 2 years some kind of way. That's all. I was just trying to squeeze him a couple of years out. Go on. You good. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, so just want to make sure acknowledge that, man. That's a wonderful story.
Great. Jimmy, we followed that story on the Chop Shop from beginning. I'll never forget it, and because you and the dad have a unique relationship, and so I mean that's man, it's just unbelievable to me. I'm proud of Chandler, and can't wait to see him in the Big 12. Can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, guess what? And who knows? I mean, who knows?
Who knows? There you go. Who knows?
Who knows? The thing is, he's already playing with house money because nobody can take D2 All-American off his resume for as long as he lives. That will always be on his resume. Okay. And so now you get to diversify it, and the overseas career or opportunity will be waiting on him at the least because he you understand, he has his size. You're talking about a guy that's about 6'3", 6'4", ish. And but shout out to him. But he's not the only one, Al. We updated the list in case you just tuned into the Chop Shop. We updated the list of college transfers this morning on rcssports.com. rcssports.com, we updated that list. And what it shows is Division I's and non-Division I's that went to high school in Greater Houston, and where they went to high school, where they go to college now or last attending college, and if they have selected a new one, then we list it. If not, it's blank. Check it out on the front of the website. It's matter of fact, I've modified it today to make it very accessible to everybody. You just click on rcsports.com and you'll see the list. It'll pop up, hit you in the face. You scroll down just a little bit. And over the weekend, a couple of other players made their transfer complete. And I go to and acknowledge a couple of them. Anderson Kopp from Lamar. He's going to University of Missouri, Kansas City, UMKC, right? Mm-hmm. He was a sophomore at Lamar this past season. Also, in case you missed it, Darius McNeil from Westfield High School. He went to Cal. We talked about him on Thursday, but just in case you missed it, he's going from SMU to UTSA. That's University of Texas at San Antonio. Also, another kid you may have missed on.
Come on back to me, Jimmy. Uh-oh. Look at him. Y'all got his mouth wide open. Y'all take a picture of that. Screenshot that, somebody, for me. Please. Screenshot that. He'll be back in a minute. But I don't want to change the subject. He was just talking about that. Jimmy, come on in and come on back out. I think he's going to do it soon. Let me take him out. Then maybe he'll know to come back in. Let me get him out of there. Okay, he's coming back in, y'all. Here he is. Okay. I think he's coming back in. Oh, he's not. You're not ready yet, Jimmy. Got to get you off the screen till you ready, boss. Try it again. But yeah, he was talking about but I think he was talking about, because I was in the middle editing something right quick, but he was talking about he did some on in the VIP news, and maybe I should go to the VIP news. It's just talking about the kids from the greater Houston area that went off the Division I college or something. Y'all know what he was talking about. Stop trying to wait on him to get back on before I matter of fact, too, why he doing that? I'm gonna go to a break. That's a good time. Thank y'all. We're gonna take it to the break. Hold on, let me find it. Chop chop, we'll be back in a minute.
Tammy Allen here, your relationship coach. Tell me, do you and your partner feel like you're struggling to communicate and have begun living like roommates? No need to worry. I can teach you new, healthy communication skills to improve your relationship. I provide coaching via teleconferencing from the convenience of any location, including your own home. Call me today to schedule your first appointment at 713-597-4499. Or you can find more information at my website, www.allencounselinggroup.com. I look forward to working with you.
There we go. And Grandma's got it. Grandma's got it. Oh, well, thank you so much. So much love to you and your family. Go, Grandma.
I can't hear them anymore.
There we go.
Welcome back to the best 120 minutes of your day. the chop shop. Let me get Jimmy in there. There we go, Jimmy. I don't know what happened to you today, baby. What you doing? Talk to me. Come on, get it out. Come on, give me that information. Now, what's the heading? What you got going on?
We were talking about transfers from this past weekend out of Greater Houston, and that list is posted on rcssports.com. Over the weekend, there were some other players. We mentioned Chandler Jacobs earlier, going from Dallas Baptist to Texas Tech. How about Marcus Williams, who played alongside Tremont Mark at Dickinson High School? Marcus went to Wyoming this year. He was a freshman. He balled out, just like Tremont Marks balled out with U of H, helping do his part and put his fingerprints on that team getting to the Final Four. But Marcus now is transferring from Wyoming to Texas A&M. He gets to come closer to home. He gets to play in the SEC, and he gets to live out his dream of because this is a young man that did not play varsity basketball in 11th grade. He had to play JV after transferring into Dickinson. They voted for him to sit out a year. And how about the fact that he has an older brother, right? Faith Williams, who started over at Prairie View A&M. Prairie View, which won the SWAC all three of the past seasons. They won the SWAC. Faith Williams and Prairie View and Texas A&M is roughly 45 minutes apart. So now think about that for parents of the Williams brothers. They get to do a Texas two-step and see and check out both of their sons, in one whop, and that's a dream come true. So that makes logical sense for a kid like Marcus to go if the opportunity presents itself, which it did. And Texas A&M, guess what? He gets to come in there, and they have a couple of kids from Dallas coming in. Wade, they have little Wade, right? And then Manny. Both are coming in freshmen, and both are expected to play significant a nice chunk, a nice chunk of minutes next year. And but shout out to him. Also over the weekend, how about another name, Chris Brandon? Chris Brandon went to Detroit Mercy. He's the kid that played at Bel Air High School. He was a nephew of John Lucas.
Yes.
Yeah. And specifically Miss Debbie Lucas.
Yeah.
That's her nephew.
Yes.
And that was a quick, swift transfer. Detroit Mercy, he's going to Northern Kentucky.
Okay.
Which got it out, and didn't waste time with it. Got it out the way. Over the weekend, who else sealed their deals? I think those were the only ones so far. And once again, you can check out that complete list on rcssports.com, and it's right there for your viewing pleasure. That, and alongside, while you're there, make sure you check out the recaps from Jeffrey Day.
What is going on with me? Man, what is going on with my man today? Keep talking, Jim. Oh. Let me get him off. I guess he was talking about the recaps of the RCS Sports, and I got something I want to share with y'all, but it's going to take too long. But I think he was talking about the recaps of the events that's happened this weekend on rcssports.com. Let me get him out of there. I hope he can come right back on. Something got to be. Let me see what. Let me look at the strength of my internet and make sure it's not from this end. But Jimmy, I'll wait to see if you're back first. He's back. But yes, unique source, RCS Sports. If you're not a member, a subscriber to RCS Sports, check it out. That Jeffrey Day and that Doug, they are, they've already great writers, but got some great information. It's short and sweet and to the point, and they're writing about your kids. And I think it's a unique situation. I wished, let me see what else I got. While Jimmy is doing that, hold on a second. I saw that, Oh, it might be me too. It might be me too, and Jimmy. I saw that freight truck tried to text me. I saw that. That's not it. That's not it. That's good. That's a good thing. I guess he's coming back on now. Okay, there it is, Jimmy. Thank you back. I'm gonna add you again. I don't know. I don't know what's going on today. But what else you were talking about RCS Sports, Jimmy? You were talking about RCS Sports.
Yeah. That's where you make sure you guys can get recaps from the TYBL as well as the Pearland Classic, Pearland Texas Classic, which was hosted by Rick Nelson this past weekend in Houston. We have detailed recaps from that event, which is very, very cool. Also, we have on the website the VIP news. We got some summer basketball news. Shout out to the Houston Hoops 16 and under program, who traveled all the way to West Virginia this past weekend and opened up a fresh can of whoopers in West Virginia. How they won all 4 games by double digits.
Who was they playing again?
They played against some pretty damn good teams, but the last game was against the Under Armour sponsored Team Thrill, who had claimed to be one of the top Under Armour 16 and under programs. Well, the Houston Hoops beat them 71-54 in the championship. In doing so, want to give an extra shout out to them because of the fact that they took out the time to reach back to Houston and keep RCS Sports directly posted on their progress. And that's a start. You know, it would have helped in the fall. For some of you guys, they send me some shots of some score sheets, and that would have helped a lot more. But the fact that they took out the time to call and keep me posted each day is a sign of appreciation for the service that RCS Sports provides to the community. Thanks a bunch, guys, for that. And guess what? It's not a slight or a dart at anybody else. I remember, there are a lot of people just that we got to get ourselves in better shape. If you're able to keep us informed, then we have the capability to use our platform to keep the multitudes informed of how you're doing, especially if you're kicking butt out of town. That, in other words, then that means now the city can be more embracive of your progress, and you don't feel like, man, they ignoring us. Why they ain't talking about us? Well, guess what? Closed mouth don't get fed.
Right.
And also give a shout out to the Drive Nation Houston Red 17 under team.
Okay.
They went to Oklahoma.
Okay.
And went 4-0. The Drive Nation Houston Red went 4-0 in Oklahoma this past weekend. I don't give a damn how extravagant the tournament supposed to be or it's not supposed to be. The fact that whenever kids travel outside of the state or outside of the city and they go and perform, then guess what? We feel we are very inviting of you to keep us posted. If you have pictures, if you have video, email it to us, and we can put some on the screen during the Chop Shop on these Mondays. Now, of course, one of the things that we added, because RCS Sports, we covered the TYBL and the Pearland Texas Classic in full capacity. Doug Jones, Jeffrey Day, and of course myself. We were out there every single Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at various locations. I covered mostly the young people this weekend. That's one of my efforts to go, and because now some people say, well, you can't be everywhere. Well, guess what? There's no sense in me being Jeffrey Day and Doug Jones had the old guys on lock, the high school age players. Well, let me go and introduce myself to some 3rd grade parents, to some 4th grade parents, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade parents. And that way now they will be more prone to understand and know that RCS Sports exists long before they get to high school. And that's our efforts as we move through the rest of 2021. So I know in the past, guess what? How you said, Al, as the facts change, how you said, what? Give it to me.
As the facts change, the truth change. But
that's what.
Because you used to always say, man, don't be coming to me talking about them little old bitty young players. But now facts has changed because I guess you realize those young players become older players at some point.
Well, they become older players, and then those parents, the relationship, now it gives more time to cultivate those relationships, or at least let those people know that you are approachable, you are accessible in the effort that they need to. They won't have questions or want to talk, or they want something to be interpreted to them. So that's one of the efforts that we want to make sure that we get in with those young people. Now, also, we are speaking of the weekend, Heather, in going and watching these young teams. I understand I have never paid attention to a third grade basketball game in my life. Have I watched one before? Probably. I've never paid attention to one until yesterday. Adam.
Wow. I'm looking. I'm listening.
Those are some of the, I'm gonna be nice. Those are some of the most spirited games that you're gonna probably see. Is a competitive, when it's a competitive game involving elementary school age kids. Okay. Parents are at a premium with their vocals.
Okay.
The kids, I mean, they're not playing per se for rankings. They're playing to kick some butt. Understand, they don't have, at that age, it is unlikely that they have a wall filled with trophies, medals, ribbons, and rings at the 9-year-old age. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it's unlikely. So for them knowing that they're playing to win first place of trophy or a ring or a medal, that's fascinating to the 9-year-old. That's appreciative for the 9-year-old. They're going after it. Well, we have a clip that we're going to share with you guys.
I got a still picture too.
We give a still picture, and
is this
the
little team you're talking about right here? This little team here?
That's the team that won it all. Give a shout out to them. If you're in DFW, that's Dallas the Fam, DAFAM. Dallas the Fam, right? That is their white team, which won the championship over Louisiana Game Time. The team from Louisiana, Game Time is specifically there from Shreveport, Louisiana. But this team in the orange, the coach was fired up, and we're going to show you just how fired up he got in the first half. As the game was very, very competitive. Right around this mark, a tech was called on one of the other players, and the coach and both coaches came out there just to make sure the kid's all right. One kid,
Now, what had happened there, Jimmy? Because I got another one. With the mom.
Now, hold on, we'll get to the other one.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I'll explain you what it just happened. A kid from the Shreveport team had what looked like he had pushed the kid in the back. He got a tech.
Okay.
So both kids were just the kid who got pushed on the floor. He got up. He was all right, and it was getting kind of chippy right there because the kid who pushed him in the back had kind of kept walking behind the kid, didn't know it. So it's kind of like it could have been a moment, but the Dallas team, the coach came out there and he found they gave a tech instead of giving a double tech. It was just a tech on the initiator.
Wait a minute, on the little boy?
Yeah, on the little boy.
Wait a minute, what grade was that?
3rd grade.
Yeah, come on.
So now,
come on.
It gets better. So when the kid got up and the coach got the tech, so the coach, realized that's how sometimes the clap was more so like, this is how we're gonna retaliate. We got a momentum going. We had an N1 and a tech. So that was a potential to get 5 points out of that possession. So that was just the part of time that the game broke open.
Why was the coach on the floor instead of on the bench?
Both coaches were on the floor. If you look at it again,
why were they on the floor? Why?
Well, because there was a breakage and the kids had to be separated. The two initial kids had to be separated because from the push.
Okay.
So both coaches ran out there. And then when they're that young, a lot of referees you don't call check from running out there because that's common.
No. I was just wondering why the coaches were on the floor. I understand.
So that was a brief stoppage in action, maybe 30 seconds. Okay. And that was situated. So anyway, the Dallas team proceeds to jump out to a lead, take the lead out to about 10 points or so. And they held off a little rally toward the end and held on to the win. So here's the thing. After the game, the fam white parents, which as you can see, most of the parents were women that were present.
Okay.
And that's another topic and the question I have to present to you guys. Not only most of the women.
Where them papas
That's the question. That's the question.
Listen, hold up. No, I'm gonna tell you the answer. The daddy had to work so the parents can come here. The mama can come here and spend all that damn money on the rental cars in the hotel. Everybody can't go. Okay, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help them mamas and the dad is out in case y'all talking about the dad is not there. Somebody got to make the money so mama can take her ass down the road and chill. But keep going. Carry on.
And I hope that be the case, but I did understand, because here's what the deal is. If the mom is there and she's vocal, if the dad is there, then the dad has the strong arm and the capacity, the presence enough to let the mom know, hey, slow down. Hey, leave that man alone. You messing with that referee. I got him. Let me deal with the other coach. Don't talk to the other coach like that. You know what I'm saying? So the dad sometimes would have the presence to serve as preventive maintenance. And I'm not saying where they're at, insinuating that they don't have no dads. No. I was like, in this particular game, if your team, they knew this team was good before they came to Houston. Right? So normally, your team good. I want to get there. If I couldn't get there to work Saturday, I'll get there for Friday. I understand, not for everybody. But there was an extreme absence of men on this sideline. Now, after the game, the family, you can tell they rolled deep. Okay. And they had fun. They had their own chant. Okay, hold on. There's a little girl leading the chant for this team. Check them out.
Hold on, let me find it for you, Jimmy. Hold up. There you go. Hold on. I like that. Yeah. So that's the Dallas team.
That's the fam elite.
Okay.
And the fam elite, right? They are the champions of the 9U.
And Jimmy, can I apologize to Marissa? I didn't say that their mamas didn't make no money. I'm just saying both of as expensive as this stuff is right now. Marissa, we just talked about it. Daddy said, Mama, I know you got some money. You got your money, Mama. You go down there. So I don't have to have nothing extra for me. No extra food, no extra band, no extra wristband. We can save money on this trip, mama. Go on, do your thing, and I can go and do whatever I can with the boys this weekend. but me, Jimmy, I was the complete opposite. My son's mama never went, and I was damn it everywhere with him. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it's just different dads that, you know, I wouldn't let nobody take my son nowhere without me going. But what you about to say, Jimmy?
I mean, I actually had fun. It was fun because it didn't understand. Shortly after that tech, we showed the aftermath of the tech.
That was after the tech when they started doing the cheer or before?
They did one cheer at halftime.
Okay.
And they did one cheer at the end of the game.
Okay.
One cheer right before halftime when they got the lead and the other team called timeout. When they went up by 10 right near the end of the first half, that's when they did the first cheer. And I say, let me go on and position myself to get behind them where they won't see me. Because I think if they win this game, they're going to probably do that cheer again. And lo and behold, they lined up and did it again right there in front of me. And I got them right there and locked them in. But here's the thing. When I say moments, right afterwards, the young man who got pushed down on that defam team by the number 3 from the Louisiana Game Time. Well, the kid wasn't kicked out of the game, Hatter. They gave him a tech. And, you know, sometimes you teachable moments as a referee, you tell him, okay, coach, you got to sit him down. Now, you could have given him a tech and left him on the court, but they'd say, coach, take him out, sit him down. That way we don't want, and sometimes the coach would comply because I could have kicked him out, but I just want to sit him down.
The little boy calls that. It was that. He was that.
They did push him down. It's a push. I mean,
what I'm talking about. Okay, that happens all the time. But I'm talking about what no retaliation between the two kids, right?
No, and that's what I'm saying. This is what, but it could have been.
Okay.
Let me explain to you why. So it gets right after halftime. This young man from the Louisiana team, coach finally puts him back in the game.
Oh.
Now, when they put him back in the game, a lady who I'm assuming was the mama or a relative of the young player who got pushed down, she she increased her vocals and attempted to plead a case as to why is this young man being let back into the game. So then you had to explain to her
he wasn't kicked out.
He wasn't kicked out. He just got a ticket. So she was like, "Oh, so well, I'll tell you what. That other kid, he didn't come to play basketball. Now you're insinuating he came to fight, which you can't prove that. The kid was playing ball. It's got in the moment. Kids get heated, and so she says, well, if he touch my son again, it's on. You see, basketball.
You know what I thought you was going to give me, and this is what I would have loved, and it didn't happen. I thought when the young kid came in the game, if I was the coach, okay, nothing to second guess no coach, but if I was the coach, I would have instructed my player who had got put out the game. Look here, that's over. When you go in the game, you find that young man and you go shake his hand and said, no hard feelings. I didn't mean to hurt you. See, all of these are teaching moments, and us adults just sitting up there like we some damn fans all the damn time. And that was a teaching moment. Yes, come here, young fella. Now look, this what happened. You go find that kid, even if he on the bench. You go find him and shake his hand and say, man, my bad, that won't happen again. That was a great teaching moment for them. And that was lost. And parents, let's not get so caught in the mean mama. Let's not get so caught up in that. Let's get to teaching these kids the right way. Because them kids in the third grade, we got to teach them now how to resolve conflict. Because if you are a crazy third grader, can you imagine what you're going to do when you're 17, when you get muscles? You might want to fight everybody in the damn gym. So, teaching moment, coaches. That light bulb. I wish I had a light bulb, Jimmy, graphic. Light bulb would have popped up. Teaching moment right there. Nothing against what you did, coach, but it's a teaching moment. Teaching moment. Let's start teaching. That's what if you coaching your teacher. Coaching is teaching. Parenting is teaching. Let's learn how to teach these guys, these kids. Just let's raise our level of teaching up a little bit in our community. Okay, let's make that happen. So what else you got, Jimmy? That's what I thought you were gonna tell me.
Teachable. I mean, understand. So what if the little kid would have accidentally or unknowingly bumped and got physical with her son again? It would have turned the place out. Because one of the parents from Shreveport, you heard them say, "What'd she say?" You know. So now it's right there. The water was just about to bubble, but luckily the fam increased their lead, and the game didn't. Now, mind you, the Louisiana team cut that thing down to 3 points in the closing minutes, and it made it one possession game, but. In the end, the fam won 42-33 was the final score. But understand, those are moments, and parents. Understand the reason why I spent extra time on this topic is because this was less than 36 hours later after a parent in Ohio decided to go that he was displeased about his son's playing time, according to the reports, and goes to the parking lot, gets into it with the coach of the volunteer coach of this grassroots program, and eventually shoots him in the head. Now the coach lived, and my understanding is that the gunshot wound was not life-threatening. So if a person gets shot in the head based on my experience of just hearing and seeing it, and it's not life-threatening, that means the bullet must have grazed them.
Yeah.
Because anywhere a bullet goes inside your head is life-threatening. Yeah. So the bullet must have grazed him, which that means he's gonna hear that story from the doctor. Man, if it was this many centimeters to the left or to the right, he wouldn't be here. Or probably so. But the point is, a parent discharged his firearm allegedly, and where a bullet made contact with the volunteer coach's head. This was a 6th grade team that was playing in this event in Ohio. 6th grade, guys. In 6th grade. 6th grade.
See what I do, Jimmy. When I sit and see stuff like that, all I think about is my son. I could have been there. Because I ain't going to tell you a lie. It's several people in this basketball community. I'm going to tell you the truth. I wanted to beat their ass. I did. I did. Several. And, but I got too much class, and I got too, if I do something, it's going to be on the news. I know I wasn't going to let them, but I know, parents, that you be mad. I know that you be mad, but we just got, something has to happen. Like, I'm watching the Facebook feed. I see you, big fella. I'm watching the Facebook feed and the YouTube feed. People talking about they having problems out of these same parents. Even Cynthia said she had problems out of this same group. So, Jimmy, when you know you got a group of parents and you are a event operator, and you got a group of parents coming to your event, and you know they some mess starters, how do you handle that? Because our guest is in the green room ready to roll, Jimmy.
Oh, and well, you handle it like this. If you know you have that problem team, then you make sure you have the security right there ready to roll. You have them on point. You have your site supervisor. You let your referees know, hey, these parents, they're going to give you the blues. Please put your thick skin on them. because at the end of the day, that way a lot of referees will get into their feelings quick. And we talked about refs last week.
So you are allowing, instead of banning the parents, we have to work our way around they state. Why can't we ban their ass?
Well, the thing about it is this, Adam. Before the game started, you can't assume they're going to be unruly.
But no, Jimmy, I'm talking about the people who have a history of it.
Well, understand. Once again, you can't assume they're going to be unruly. You have a choice as an event operator. If they done that at your particular event, event operator is not prone to turn down a team who, just because they may have acted crazy at another event.
Okay.
Now, if it happened that they're a repeat offender at your event, then that's a whole different thing. Then, I mean, that's your fault as an event operator.
Okay.
But that's one of the things. And then also, you real quick before our guests come in, Adam, I had another question or another topic that was in the mailbag.
Okay.
And somebody asked early this morning about, and somebody I saw just posted in one of the boom boom rooms about the prices for the tournament passes. I'll read you the sentence and I'll give you a quick solution. We need to have a serious conversation about how out of control these AAU programs are. $40 for a tournament, and you don't give out a day pass. That is ridiculous. Here's a quick solution. And I said this numerous times. Parents, you as a galvanized, unified force, you have the power to dictate if you're in most cases with youth basketball, to dictate whether you do or do not want to attend a certain event. Parents, so that means as you're making the schedule, ask the coach before he commits your team on the schedule, talking about for Nick in the future, to ask that event operator how much is he charging for the day passes. Get the prices. Just like they asked coaches will always ask, how much does it cost for my team to get in? But they never ask until after they done paid their money, they never ask how much is the admission.
How my parents, yeah.
How much is it for senior citizens? How much is it? Are you honoring any passes? I mean, guess what? They're going to tell you what their rules is, and you have a decision to make. If that becomes a deal breaker, I can almost guarantee you, unless that event is a prestigious, distinguished event, that event operator is going to comply to the commands or the request of his patrons, or his ass will be out of business. I'm gonna give you free.
So he will lower his price because somebody complained?
He will make amenities. He will make concessions to not lose that business. He's not gonna lower his price, but he will make amends, meaning that if a person's asking, let's say, for example, safe math, how much is it? Well, it's $15 a day. How much is your weekend pass? Well, your weekend pass is blah, blah, blah. Well, who gets in free? What about the kids? Well, the kids are going to be this. Man, we got about 7 kids that are, we bring a bunch of kids, man. We got to pay, and they're going to be 8 years old, but the cutoff is 7. Well, tell you what, coach. See me, give me a head count. Let me know how many it is, and we give a discount, a bundle deal for all of them, maybe $5 a piece. That's how event operators, smart ones, would try to make concessions. Well, I mean, we got 18 citizens.
So the coaches got to
ask, but the parents have to put that on the lap and make that. But now, understand, it may not work with just one parent unless your kid is a star. But if 3 of the 5 starters parents get together and they are in unison, that's 60% of your starting lineup. And they approach that coach. Look here, man. Them people over there, they ain't got no. You got to bring your own chairs. Ain't no seats in that gym. Hey man, we ain't paying my money to go stand up. You got to make decisions. And I promise you, if that happens, then you will see that's what you do. You go and you put the coach's feet to the fire. He will put the event operator's feet to the fire. And that is the start. It's not the solution, but that's the start to creating a better environment in grassroots basketball.
Well, let's bring our guests on, Jimmy, because I just parents, we're going to talk about this again. we'll talk about this again because if this stuff, the price of everything is going up. Price of everything is going up. So we'll talk about everything going up except minimum wage. Everything else going on except minimum wage. So so guess what? So yeah, the cost is filtered down to you. But Jimmy, introduce our guest.
Yeah, man. As promised with you guys, and as promised you last week, we are going to start this week off with a bang. And we have another person that has NBA royalty, street basketball royalty. Also now he coached grassroots basketball, retired from the volunteer status, only to get lured back in.
Jimmy, no, he had his own program. Jimmy, he had his own program.
Well, yeah, but he volunteered coach and he laid it down. He said, "I'm done with it. I'm gonna sit back." Only to be lured back in when he realized that his son didn't want to play soccer, didn't want to play baseball, he wanted to hoop. So guess what? Wow. Dad had to come out of retirement, and now he's back on the sidelines. You guys may remember him as a worldwide one of the faces of the N1 basketball circuit back in the days. Mm-hmm. Then he went and took his talents and transited over to the NBA. Played for our Houston Rockets. We have with us, you guys may know him as Skip to Malou on the East Coast. We call him Ray for Austin. Now he's known as R.A. Ra. And that is Ray for Austin, Skip to Malou. Welcome to the Chop Shop, boss. What's going down?
How you doing, man?
What's up, Coach?
Thanks for having me.
Coach, tilt your screen back so you won't be so high. Other way. Hey, there you go. What's up, man? Hey, man, let me tell you something somebody did to me before you say anything. Somebody went and found the old video when you, I, and Slim and Moochie was on the show. Jimmy was out of town, and somebody hit this. So during the 1 hour breaks, I got to play it because I still don't believe what you said. I still disagree with what you said. But guess what? But it's okay. But welcome to the show, man. What's going on?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back on with you.
Tell me what was the reason? Because you and Jimmy, you wait a minute. I think you texted me and said, "Hey man, I'm coming on the show." What hell happened when you and Jimmy and May Joe said, "Okay, we got to be on the show this week"? What happened? Can one of y'all tell me?
To be honest with you, man, sometimes we take for granted with everything going on COVID wise and everything that I realized just seeing Jimmy in the gym, I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen my man in a while. And here I am coaching my son's team in one of his events. I'm like, you know what? I need to come back on. Yeah, I think it'd be a good thing, to come back on the show. And, it's called the Chop Shop. Just come back on and chop it up. That's what I want to do, man. Just come on and chop it up and, enjoy ourselves, man.
And so your son is what grade? What grade your son?
Sixth grade.
Huh?
Sixth grade. He's in sixth.
He's in sixth grade. Now we got a third grade. They had the parents want to fight. The kids want to fight this weekend. What is going on with this friction, Skip? That's going on in this youth basketball. These little bitty babies, Kendrick Person said they cussing each other out and everything. What's going on, man, in youth basketball? Because if you are a misbehaved youth, you would probably be a misbehaved teenager. You follow me? Right. Tell me what's going on, man, that we can do, and what can we do to help?
I believe what's going on is parents, they come across as know-it-alls, and they have this thing where they know what it takes to make it. They know that their kid is an NBA player or professional football player, because it goes on in all youth sports. I've seen fights in Pee Wee football.
Okay, I got you.
And it right now in this generation is the parents' influence on the kids has taken over the ability of the coaches to coach and succeed, with the kids. When we were all coming up, the coach was the guy we all listened to. The parents, the coach talks to the parent listens to the coach. All right, and we go with what the coach is saying, what he's doing with the team. Whether or not it's 100% beneficial to your kid. It's about the team. And right now, it's so much individuality from the parents. That it's about their kid, not about the team, which I never understood that. You're playing 5-on-5, so it cannot possibly be about the one individual kid. It's about the team. You know, so the parents have to allow the youth coaches who are doing this for free to coach the kids. What else is lost in all this is respect. And respect has gone out the window with youth sports, and it's that's the sad part about it is the respect issue, and parents has lost total respect for the coaches, the referees, you name it. They have no respect for the whole grand scheme of things.
Interesting, Jimbo.
Why do you think that?
Oh well, again, it's about their. To me personally, it's a lot of living through your kid. It's a lot of living through your kid. My son is gonna be the next LeBron or D Wade or what it is, instead of understanding that there's a process, right? And you can't skip a step in the process.
Okay.
And I teach my son, all the kids I coach. It's like school, right? When it comes to these kids trying to make it, and I just say make it to college sports.
Okay.
Right? You have to work on your game every day. If you're trying to be a good student, you have to go to school every day. You have to study every day. You have sometimes you got to get a tutor every day. It's the same thing with sports. And the parents are trying to skip a step. And you can't skip a step in this process. And to me, I don't understand that thought process with these parents is that they really honestly believe their kid is going to be a pro overnight. And it's not going to happen that way.
And Skip, I'm sitting up here thinking about the guy up in Sandusky, Ohio, who shot the coach, right?
Oh, terrible. Terrible.
How in the hell he think his kid gonna get he ain't gonna be in jail. If his kid he gonna be in jail. Who gonna raise his kid while he in jail? What are we thinking about?
Here's the crazy part about what came out of that one is he was upset at his daughter's lack of playing time.
Oh, it was a girl.
It was girls' game, yeah.
Wow.
He was upset at his daughter's lack of playing time. He never stopped to address that situation and even asked the coach in a professional, adult manner. Hey, coach, you have a minute? I talk to you. Just trying to figure out, the reasons why my daughter's not seeing a lot of minutes on the court. Then the coach would have told him in a respectful, adult manner, hey, these are the things that your daughter may or may not be doing. We need to work. I need to work on her a little more on that. Maybe in practice, we can work on it a little more, X, Y, and Z, to where I can get her get on the court in more extended minutes, right? None of that came across. Just the frustration of my daughter's not playing, and that's just that, bam, I'm going to shoot you. And like you said, Adam, he's going to be in jail when his daughter does happen to get 25 minutes a night.
Some other dude going to be raising his daughter.
Yeah. That coach might have to raise her now.
Yeah. And somebody going to be raising his wife too.
That's the funny part about it. That's the funny part about it. Because as coaches, we're an extension of parents. You got a lot of kids that parents aren't even teaching them how to be respectful. We as coaches, we have to teach them. You know how many kids talk back? You know how many kids roll their eyes when the coach tell them, hey, man, you got to get back on D. Hey, give up the ball. You know how much disrespect these kids have? That as coaches, we have to teach them what their parents aren't teaching them. We got to do their job too.
Skip, a little earlier, they had an incident this weekend here in Houston. A little earlier, I used a teaching moment. Two of the kids, one of the kids puts the kid down, and they took him out of the game. Okay, took him out of the game, and the mama of one of the when they put the kid back in it, they didn't kick the kid out the game. They just took him out to cool him off.
Right,
calm down. The mama let him. They let him back in, and one of the mamas talking about, I know if he hit my son again, it's gonna be whatever, right? But my thing is a teaching moment for the coach and the parent. When he put the little kid in the game, this simple gesture, I would have said, look here, young fella, go find that guy you pushed down. You go over there and shake his hand, say, man, my bad. that won't happen again. It was all in. I wouldn't. It was all in the game. Those examples right there. That to me, that would have cooled down a whole lot of the tension. Unless some of these people just ignorant as hell. But it was a teaching moment for the kid. I'm putting you back in here. But you go find that boy who you did that to and make sure you shake his hand. So think about that, Skip.
Oh, no, definitely. But look at the age of the kids, right? Yeah. So what you're saying that coach should have done is absolutely 1,000% correct.
Yes.
But here's another side to it. Because of their ages. The same parent, mother that yells out, I know if you would hit my kid against a fight. Why not tell the other kid as well on learning how to take the high road? I'm saying that parents or the other coach could have told the other kid the same exact thing. Because you know why I'm saying that is? Because here's why I'm saying that.
Good point.
The other kid could be a phenomenal basketball player and more valuable to his team. And you have to teach him how to respond to adversity at those times.
That's good.
Because we don't know if the other kid shoved him just to get him attacked to get the other kid out the game. Right? So there's a lot of teaching moments in those spots. So the other coach and mother or whatever could have told the other kid the same exact thing. That way, cooler heads prevail. And you also teach them how to understand. If you're killing somebody out there, this is what they're going to do to get you off your game and get you thrown out the game. So you got to learn how to play above that. I was their age.
Yeah, me too.
11, 12, 13.
Yeah.
When I was 11, 12, 13, not to toot my own horn, and you guys know me, I've never been that kind of guy.
Right.
I was scoring 30-some points with ease. I don't think it was a national tournament, wherever they took me. Right. And kids would elbow me in my chin, elbow me in my stomach, and I reacted in a bad way until my coach said, what do you think they're going to do when you're busting their behind?
Yeah.
And that's how I learned what to do. So now when I got to 14, 15, they was doing it, I pat them on the butt. Hey, come on. Hey, relax, man. I'll say something. Hey, relax, man. And I keep playing. Because now if I react and shove him, or my mother, which at the time wasn't going to them games, if she just said, then you hit my son again, all hell's going to break loose. Right. You see what I'm saying? Again, to go back and piggyback what we said about, we're all responsible for these kids' growth in this sport.
Okay.
We all play a major role. Tournament runners, referees, coaches, parents. We all play a major role in this. So just that one thing that happened at that game, there's a big picture. Mom, you shouldn't be yelling that out at that time in the game. Coach, you should tell a kid, hey, go shake that kid in and tell him you apologize, that won't happen again. There was so much in that one incident that could have been addressed.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I understand. And this, what I'm saying, the guy's name, Mario Lacey Sr., is the parent. He's charged with attempted murder in Ohio while his daughter, you said, was playing a 6th grade youth basketball game. They had 13 players on the team, from what I understand. So, I mean, there was 8 players on the bench, Haller and Skip. Is 13 too many? Is that a recipe for playing time problems?
Well, yes, for 13 players is a recipe for playing time problems, but people carry 13 for a variety of reasons.
Yes.
You might have 9 of those kids that are ready for big time AAU competition, right? That are, let's say the kids are 14, right? You might have 9 solid 14-year-old kids.
Okay.
You might have 4 other 13-year-olds, right? That are better than their 13-year-olds, but they need to be on the 14-year-old team because them playing their 13-year-olds, they're just dominating. So they need to be up there with the 14, whether they're playing a lot of minutes, significant minutes or not. At least they're knowing and seeing what lies ahead for them as they're going forward. So that's why sometimes you have teams carry 13 players, right? Sometimes you carry 13 because you don't even have a commitment from all the players every weekend. So sometimes you might go to practice, 8 kids show up. But every time on game day, here come all you 13. So sometimes the coach is thinking, well, if I didn't have 13 or 10 kids in practice, I got to call these other kids to make sure I have enough at a game. You know, so that's why some teams, it's a variety of people carry 13. Those are just 2 good examples. But playing time wise, yes, 13 is too many. And I guarantee you, his daughter wasn't the only one that's receiving lack of playing time. But he was the only parent to react in that manner. You know, you got 13.
But me personally, I don't know the guy, but I just can't imagine he went up there. It had to be it had to be an argument at some point.
Of course it probably was. But I guarantee it wasn't an argument on the coach's behalf.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, what if the coach said, man, would take your, I mean, some of these coaches can get slick in the mouth too now.
Hey, but let me say this, Rob. Let me just say this. And Jim, if you're a coach, this whole thing about basketball, sports, this isn't equal opportunity because you're on the team.
Right.
You put the 5 best players out there at one time that gives you the best chance to stay in or win the game.
What if the people are paying, Chris? What if these parents are paying?
Paying doesn't mean you're gonna play.
Okay.
Every kid is paying the same fee to be on that. It still comes down to the kid being coachable, skill set. Can they remember plays and run plays? Do they understand how's their IQ, how hard they work? It still is gonna come down to all those things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If I'm coaching, I've been in them situations before as a coach. I'm coaching, I'm playing the best kids. Only 5 can be on the court at one time.
Right.
Then we're subbing in and out. Right? If your kid is struggling out there for some odd reason, he's 0 for 9, or he's got a few turnovers, he's not playing hard, he's pouting, all that, then we're gonna sub someone in. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
If a parent addresses the coach, which is a grown-up, right? So whether the coach is a man or a woman, we have to respect them from whether they're a coach or not. We got to respect them as human beings as first and foremost. So we respect the coach as a human being. We're not going to walk up or run up on a coach in a manner that's combative. We're going to talk to a coach. I need to talk to you about the situation that's going on with my team, right? For a coach to say, well, take your son, take your kid, something was addressed or brought to that coach in the most respectful or combative manner that's not conducive to what we're trying to accomplish with the kids. That with the kids. If I ever had a problem with my son or with another coach or that, I'm not running, hey man, why my son ain't playing? Hey coach, you got a minute? Or because sometimes after a game is not a good time. Because remember, this is an emotional sport. This is emotional.
There you go.
Attention is running high. We're trying our best with these kids. No one's going out here, man, today I'm going to hurt Jim Hicks' son by not playing. No coach is doing that.
Right.
We're trying to get it right. And you're not going to get it right with all 13 of them.
Awesome.
There's gonna be a sour grape or as a coach, you're gonna miss. You're not gonna get it right with all the kids, and parents and people have to respect that it's not gonna be. It's not gonna go every kid or every parent's way.
Right. I got something for you. The question was asked earlier. I forgot who asked it, but they can read. It was just talking about how what do you think about this? New to you? You about to be a daddy coach. You coaching your son now. That's different than any other coaching you ever did in your life. How are you going to handle it? How are you going to get past the daddy ball situation? That's my son. You know, your wife saying, that's your son. I mean, how? Because it's some more daddies on here, Skip, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't wait to not ever coach my son again in life. You know, but when he was younger, wouldn't nobody do it, so daddy got to step up. And then when he got better, I said, here, man, y'all, you follow me? Because, I mean,
definitely.
know, so tell us about that, man. That's going to be a unique ride for you.
You know, I've been coaching my son since he was in 3rd grade. For me, it's easier for me, right? It's easy for me because I know the game. This is a game I've played since I was 5 years old, all the way to my mid-30s, right?
Okay.
I've seen it all, been through it all in this game. It's simple for me. I hold my son accountable, responsible for everything he's doing out there as an individual and with the team. You know, it's easy for me, right? Also, going into it, I understand, I recognize the people, parents, that's the one thing that that's the one dart that they're gonna throw at, right? They got tunnel vision. When you hear so many people they got tunnel vision. That's the only thing they can go at, right? So I've seen people blame daddy ball when it doesn't even pertain to the situation.
It's a great point.
Right?
Yeah.
If your kid is struggling, if your kid can't grasp this concepts and schemes, your kid don't understand how to pass the ball, is that daddy ball? That's not daddy ball.
Right.
It's not listen, unfortunately, I'm a basketball player. My son has daddy genes. There's not much that I need to tell him from a listening standpoint,
right?
From an understanding standpoint, right? The other things is me working on his game and sharpening his IQ, right. So there's some times where parents, that's the one, oh, he's playing his son. Well, wait a minute. My son might be the one guy that understands everything that's going on the court. So he's not, so there's some dads coach their kid is not out there because he's scoring 20 points. Their kid might be out there because he can stabilize us. When things getting out of line, he can calm us down. He can get us into our offense. He can, he can initiate the offense. See, people say daddy ball for one or two things. Oh, he's playing all man. Oh, he's allowing his son to take all the shots. When sometimes that's not even the case. There's so much going on in the basketball game than that. You know, it's easy for me, but for another dad, it could be hard because not every dad can approach it the way I approach it.
Yeah, absolutely, because Jimmy, I got a great story. When my son was younger, we went out of town on a trip. Okay. Got out of town on a trip. I'm sitting in the stands, not saying anything. Guy next to me was watching the game. Now we friends now, but I didn't know him. And he was so subtle with it, I'll never forget. He said, he put on his phone and showed it to me. And what he said on his phone, he said, "Which one is your son?" I showed him. I said, okay. Then he said, "Who is number 3?" I said, "That's the coach's son." He said, "Wow." He knew immediately. He didn't know us. We were from out of town. He knew immediately number 3 had to be the coach's son. That's the kind of daddy, but we ain't talking about your dad. You got a different dynamic. So what I would like to you to help the daddies who don't have the dynamic that you have, how do they cope with it? Because you know, your situation is different, but you got a unique situation. 90% of the daddies don't have the resume you have. And they are out there doing things where people who don't even know them can say, "Man, this got to be the coach's son." When you turn that thing over 8 times in a row and don't make a shot and you still in the game, the whole game, you got to be the coach's son.
The problem is we're in the era where there's a million AAU teams.
Yeah.
Right? There's a million of these AAU teams. Right. Some are great, some are good, some are bad, some are terrible. Let's call it what it is.
Okay.
There's a million of these teams now, right? We can find out before we put our kid on that team, the situation going on with that team. We're in a social media era.
Yes,
We're in a tell-all era. People are telling it all. You got parents gossiping. You got, right? So if I wanted to take my kid right now to a team, I'm going to find out about the coach if I don't know already. You know how many times we done played against a lot of these kids, these teams, all that? Find out who you're taking your kid to. Find out the situation about the team. And I guarantee you, if you take the time to do that first, you will pump your brakes on putting your kid on that daddy, because you will understand right away.
That's a good point.
Don't put your son on that team and you already know that the dad and the son is the dad is coaching the son and all that, and then you wait till something go down to say it's daddy ball. It was daddy ball when you brought your son over there to that man's team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to say.
I didn't do my homework. I apologize. I didn't. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like right now, we done played all over. I even know teams in Memphis, Vegas. We done been to all these places. Yeah. I'm gonna know, hey sir, your son is on this team. Okay, good, right? And I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna ask another person team, how is that relationship going on with these kids on this team with the dad? Someone on that team is gonna let me know, and I'm gonna pump my brakes right there. You know what? Not good for my son. Let's try another team. There's 2 million of these damn teams. See, I was in a situation kind of like you, but I was coaching. Right? We got in Dallas in one of these prestigious tournaments, Jermaine O'Neal Coast to Coast Preps tournament, where all these so-called top players and top-ranked teams, and we're in a dogfight game with a top-ranked team. We've got some top-ranked players.
Right.
Neck and neck. Right? Jim watched me coach my team. I'm teaching to play the right way. Move the ball, cut through, step picks, help each other, right? No, you ain't got to try to do this one-on-one stuff, right? But in the midst of all that, my son was having a solid game, right? Not from a standpoint where he had 27 points, but he had like 13 points, but he was solid with the ball and things like that, right? Mm-hmm. No one came. They didn't ask me which one was my son because he had 20-some points. Mm-hmm. They asked me, "Is number 3 your son?" I said, "Yes." He said, "He's always looking for the open man. He always has his head and all that." That's what they said to me. Mm-hmm. He didn't blow them away because he had 25 points. Mm-hmm. They loved him because of his alertness and the fact that he was playing team ball during a stretch in this game where it was needed the most, where you needed him the most to be a team guy. That's what he did. And that's all that happened. So, a lot of this comes down to allowing the kids to be coached, allowing them to learn how to play the game. Mm-hmm. And that's the biggest part about it. They're going to average big time points at their middle school, at their high school. Okay, that's what those are for. Mm-hmm. But when you're playing AAU ball, 9 times out of 10, you're on a team, top flight AAU teams. Mm-hmm. There's about 7 or 8 kids on that team just as good as your kid or better. Now, how are you going to coexist and coincide? How are y'all going to mesh? And the parents got to stop trying to tell their kid, well, you got to go get 20 points. College coaches don't care if you score 20 in the AAU game. They want to see everything else you could do.
Because most of them got guys that can already score 20 points.
They probably got 2 or 3 of them at the school already.
Yeah, right.
9 times out of 10, they got 2, maybe 3 that's averaging 15 points or better.
Right. Jimmy, what you got, baby?
I mean, it's a great convo, and of course,
great conversation.
Remind you guys, we got this with us right now. Yes, indeed, he looks familiar. That is Rafe Alston, aka Skip to My Lou, and we're going to ask you guys take out the time to share the show right now, if you would. Share the show to your timelines. Share the show to your hoop groups. Let them know that Rafe Alston is on it right now, and we have a couple of questions. If you guys want to toss to Rafe Alston, we'll open it up for you to do so at that time. Also, his team that Rafe coaches, the RA Elite, or RA Elite. That's a 6th grade team. Okay. That actually played up in grade level a week ago during the Kingwood Live, and they won first place.
What?
A 6th grade team played up and won first place. Now, I want to ask you right before I get to the question.
Okay, go on. I just want to know when y'all will play again, Coach.
Oh, we actually, it's funny you say that. We're supposed to be doing the next event this weekend with that. I think Jim Hicks is supposed to let me know when.
All right. Okay.
His next, I think it's weekend, another tournament.
This weekend.
His counterpart, I can't think of his name right now because we're on, but that does it with him, the tournament.
Yeah. I'm just going to know. I want to make sure I get my money right so I can pay for one of these.
Brian Jolivet and Rick Nelson.
Yep, Jolivet, Mr. Jolivet.
No,
yeah.
Jimmy,
Jolivet.
I got to get my money right so I can pay for these the band that these parents been complaining about. Hey, parents, I'm finished.
Hey,
I'm gonna see how bad it is. I'm gonna go out there and pay.
See, before Jim asks the next question, I was listening to you guys before y'all.
Oh, you did.
But
okay.
But it's funny. Jim said that the coach should let it. I do that. That's what we see. We already know. Hey, look, I already tell my parent, don't even worry about no day passes. We already know going in. Yo, it's gonna be 20 a day. Let's just get that in our minds going in. Let's just get that in our minds going in, so that we ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Don't get to that. Don't like Jim was saying. Don't get to the door and you already have it. Now you got to complain because now it's almost too late now because your son mind's already into the game. I'm about to go play, and no, you might as well. You know, the only part I have with it is when they trying to charge the babies, man.
Yeah.
You know, 8-year-old. That part, I don't even care if they reduce their price. Don't do that. Let them little babies go in and watch their older sibling play some ball. That's not gonna make or break you tournament by letting an 8-year-old or 7-year-old go ahead and walk in and go to the game.
I like that. I like that. Jimmy, what was the question?
And the first question is on your team, your sixth grade team. I watched this past weekend, and there was another sixth grade team that won Rick Nelson's TYBL tournament, the Pearland Texas Classic. And their team is named after a former NBA star as well, Nene, who played with the Houston Rockets. So this team is called a Nene Elite. They pretty good. Now, Nene Elite won the spring icebreaker, although, I mean, on the court, they came in second to the team out of Louisiana, the Nike sponsor program, or the Florida Lee. Well, but they protested successfully because a kid from Florida Lee played with two different teams in the same division, and which was not permissible because due to the fact that we were giving out $1,000 to the champion. You know, we want to make sure. So they successfully protested, and so Nene was declared the champion. Have you played against that Nene team? I need to see that matchup.
We played against them. I want to say last year we beat them. But what happened is that's not to say we'll beat them now because kids get better. Sometimes they add on a intricate piece to their team that they might have been missing. Nene's nephew's the bigger one. He's pretty good. Light-skinned kid, tall, big kid, you know, he can handle, can play in the post, he can score. So we haven't had a chance to see them in a while. We were in a tournament with them before. We thought we'd see them, but I think they ended up losing in the semifinals of this tournament. But one thing about them is they're pretty good. They work hard. They're always in the gym. And again, you know, for us, we're just up for the challenge. That's it. I always teach the kids, you know, be prepared to play. But they're pretty good, man. We're a solid team. We've run into our situations even here in Texas, and when we go abroad, we've run into some tough top flight teams. It's you know, that's what I love for and live for is the kids to experience the competition.
Yeah. Now I got something, Hatter. I just noticed.
Do you think?
Rafe Austin's Raw Elite. They've won championships. They've kicking butt this summer. Nene Elite is kicking butt this summer. Follow me. One Time Legends, which is the program that is founded and coached in some fashion by Tracy McGrady. They won 2 divisions this weekend. You have the JL3 14U has been kicking, coached by Delilah, but that JL3, that John Lucas Mona, he's been kicking butt this summer. Moochie Norris under the JL3. His team has been kicking a little butt this summer on the 16 under circuit. Not the best, they've been kicking butt. Skip, what do you say about all of a sudden the surge of grassroots programs that now are either coached or founded by former NBA players now that are in Houston? You know, of course, TJ Ford is another one, but TJ Ford this summer, I didn't mention him, but this summer, I don't know if one of his teams is, because they got so many kids playing up. I'm quite sure if TJ Ford let his son play with his own age group, they would be kicking butt too.
Right.
But he plays up.
Great point.
You see what I'm saying? But also, if you're watching, I didn't mention TJ Ford. I'm talking about the teams that we know that have gotten medals this and won this summer, this spring. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think that a lot of parents would easily rather their kids play for a former NBA player than versus John Doe who's volunteering?
Good question.
Well, y'all are volunteering, but I mean John Doe not an
NBA. One, I'm gonna say to all, because we're all brothers, all us NBA guys. We're all still connected in some shape, form, or fashion. Man, salute to every last one of them, including myself. That, you know, this is our give back. You know, this is how we give back, by giving them our time, our energy, our effort. You know, we're not making anything out of it. We're not gaining. The only thing we gain is the satisfaction of helping some kids. And to see all these men, like I saw Moochie at your event, the same event we were playing at your event, Jim, and during the game, I ran across the court to give him a hug because it was just so great to see him. Haven't seen him, you know, during the COVID. So just to see him back on the sideline doing it's a beautiful thing. We bring an expertise from so many different angles, right? All those parents who said the game have dreams, aspirations that their kid makes the NBA. Well, we can bring you the expertise for that. To play major college basketball. A lot of us play major college basketball. So we could give you the expertise of that. Some of them might have to go to junior college. Well, myself and Moochie, we went to JUCO. We can give you the expertise on what to expect if you're going there. Some of these kids might have to go to prep school. Well, I had to go to prep school. I can give you the expertise about sending your kid away from home and understanding the kid gonna be all right and everything, you know, doing those things. So we bring it from a variety of standpoints, from a standpoint that we're played on every possible level that your kid may have to go to.
That's great.
The flip side to it, 70% of parents will not listen. That's the hardest part of this whole thing. Is 75% of these parents think because we're not the now. We're not the now. We're not Damian Lillard. We're not Steph Curry, right? That we don't know what the hell we're talking about. That we don't have a damn clue about what it takes to make it. So thus, these parents would take their kid to John Doe and think that John Doe knows everything about making it to where we made it at. Right?
And John
Which is the most mind-boggling thing on God's green earth.
And John Doe is helping with that narrative also. John Doe, he's helping with that narrative.
Of course.
And I always talk about it on this show. And I'm going to let you come back in, but I want to add something to what you're saying. It's not but 4,000, almost 5,000 of you guys that's ever been on the planet ever. Okay? That's it. I know people think it's been a million basketball, but it ain't been but 4,800 and some of y'all ever. Of course, y'all going to bring a unique insight to this thing. I remember I told a woman, hey, she said, I want my son to play. I want my son to play on the team. I said, call TJ Ford. Go with his team. His team's not winning much. Wow. That's what this mama told me. His team not winning. I said, wow. Guess what? I look at her son now. He the same that he was then. Unsigned senior. This was 4 years ago. Unsigned senior. He probably somewhere else doing whatever else he gonna do. But that's the narrative. Skip.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. And not to mention, she didn't even think about the bonus of that, what she said. She said TJ 14 is not winning. First of all, ma'am, which TJ 14 you talking about? Because TJ, salute to TJ, has 100 teams.
Yes.
What she don't even know. Did you see? Was it the Austin team? Was it the San Antonio team? You don't even know which team you're talking about.
But that was a narrative.
However,
she got. That's a narrative
from someone else, right? But here's the thing: why not take your son over there to help them win? Now you see what I'm saying? This is the part that they don't even think about when they think about the bigger picture. She had tunnel vision because someone put that seed in her, planted that seed.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
TJ didn't plant that seed.
No.
Like, hey,
no,
bring him over here because we're not winning.
No,
he
no.
didn't say that.
Right.
Someone else.
Right. That's awesome.
Right? Okay.
That's awesome.
Why not take your kid over there and help them win? Because now your son, if you take him over there, he's gonna stick out like a sore thumb to all college coaches. He wouldn't have this problem of being unsigned. But just take him somewhere and put him on a team with people that are better than him. No one's looking at your son now. They're looking at the kids. I had that situation.
Okay.
Dads took their kids off my team because they want their kids to stay on the court. Their kids turn the ball over, right? They go start their other team. Guess who they go ask to play with their kids? The same guards that's been kicking out behind. These same point guards and guards that's kicking it behind to be on their team. Guess who stood out? Those same guards that you just asked to be on their team. So when they come out with these so-called sixth grade rankings, their kids weren't on there. Guess why? You just added 2 or 3 top-ranked kids that's above your kid, and you put them on a team with them, and your kid is doing the same thing that you said you don't want your kid to do.
Wow.
It makes no sense.
Wow.
It makes no sense, man. Like, here's the thing. To piggyback off Jim was talking about all the NBA guys. If you're not trying to learn the game and everything that comes and surrounds, that comes with trying to be a college, remember, you got to learn how to be a Division I athlete. And before you can think about making it to the pros, where we always bless God. God, thank you for all of us that made it. Right?
Yeah.
You're not willing to learn that from guys that lived it already and did it. Parents, all I'm asking you is, who you trying to learn it from? Who you trying to learn it from? If I want to be a millionaire, am I asking the guy stand outside shaking the cup?
I had to give you that one. That was my
saying, right?
Yeah.
But I was young.
The guy shaking the cup.
I was these kids that, when Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland used to come talk, I shut up and listen. They don't have to be my number one player or idol. I still love Magic Johnson, Isaiah Thomas. But these players were there. They're there with them. They're on the court with those guys. They made it to where I'm dreaming about making it too. Let me be quiet and listen. And not to mention, I'm going to say, when is the next place you're speaking at or camp that you're going to have? I need to ask my mom, can she take me there too? But you have parents nowadays take their kid and go take them somewhere else. They'll take them to the trainer. They'll go take them to the trainer and think the trainer knows everything about basketball. And he's training you against a cone. You know, here we are.
So parents, you know, you just hit on something. Alvin Brooks Jr., the dad, we had him on last year, and
big shout out to Alvin Brooks.
Big shout to Coach Alvin Brooks.
Did he get a new job at Lamar?
Yeah,
at Lamar.
Yeah.
Okay.
At Lamar. And he touched on this very topic about when you have an opportunity to have a former NBA player guide your kids. You're right there in the stands with them. You're right there in practice. You're right there on the trips with them. And in Alvin Brooks' case, not NBA, but as a college coach, a career Division I coach.
Career Division I coach.
And he was saying that parents was telling him about how recruiting works instead of asking him. Mind you, 3 years later, or I'm sorry, a half a year later, Alvin Brooks' fingerprints is on a team that makes it to the Final Four.
To the Final Four, right?
But you're sitting there with them, and then I ask you a question. I want to ask you, do parents maximize their time and opportunity in seeking the knowledge directly from you, the NBA alumnus, about, or you, the former Division I player, or you, the former JUCO All-America? Do they seek your basketball or recruiting knowledge at all?
Man, that's a great question, man, because let me share this with you. The past 2 years, I was a scout while I'm coaching my son. Right. I was scouting for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I remember. So I'm part of the recruiting. The answer, Jim, is no. You would think the parents on my own team would ask me about recruiting. Not one of them have. I even shared with them this major part about recruiting. I said, I was in a meeting. I was in a meeting with the college scouts. And the big thing now is they don't care how good your kid is. They do not want to recruit them if they come to a game and their parent is acting a plum fool. So if a mom is running on the court, or like Hatter said, the mom yells, if you hit my son, he's going to hit you back. Her son could be a top flight player. We don't want him. And what those parents don't understand is that message goes viral. Because the scouts, even though they scout from different teams and different places, we share our scouting stuff with the team. So if I scout for Clemson, I'm sharing my notes on Jim Hicks with North Carolina. Parent is a fool. Parent, listen, kid is good, but you won't want to have to deal with that. So the big thing right now in recruiting is we don't want to deal with wacky parents. And that's the big thing nowadays. But no, they won't seek it. You got to remember, we're in an era where the parents think they know it all.
Hallelujah.
They know it all. They know they know how to. And I asked the parent, well, if you know so much, why aren't you training and coaching your kid? And the parent had to zip it up. And the reason they had to be quiet is because it hit them with just that line. You don't know what you're talking about. And not to mention, it's okay if you don't know what you're talking about. Because guess what? I can't teach my son about engineering. But do you think if he was in engineering school, I'm going to run up to the school, the professor, and tell him about engineering? Or I'm going to shut my mouth and let him teach my son about engineering? And that's what's going on in this game. It's like people, there's a lot of parents who try to play, but they make it. You might want to share that piece with your kid on how not to make it. Share that with him. All the things you did to not make it. Because no, that's needed too. Because we got kids falling that path right now. Out there pouting, playing selfish ball. Well, wait a minute. Your dad or whoever that did make it should know a thing or two about that. Because that's probably why they didn't make it. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of lessons in this game. There's a lot of lessons in the game. There's parents that you didn't make it in sports. Share that with your kid because it's very important on what to do on things that you did not to make it so that they don't do those things. Whereas the Moochie Norris, the Tracy McGrady's, the Ray Falls, the TJ Ford, the Kendrick Perkins is coaching now. All of other, we can share you things that we did that almost, like I've done things in my life, man, that almost enabled me to play this game and go all the way. And I've done a lot of things that has helped me make it. So I can share with them things to do. Hey, don't do that. I'm telling you, you might not get a second chance. You might not want to do that. I can share with them from that standpoint, and I can share with them all the things they need to do to make it, what these coaches are looking for, what's expected of you, off the floor, on the floor.
Skip, just hold on, keep talking, cause I'm gonna play. I'm just play a video clip. We're gonna talk over the video clip. but I'm gonna play it. Then I'm gonna hold on. Here we go. We're gonna talk over it. The head coach of the Bulldogs is Jerry Tarkanian. You got some people ain't seen you play before, Skip. So guess what? I'm just giving them a little something. I'm just giving them a little something, so they can just see. Hold up. I'm gonna put me in the screen. Now I'm gonna take us out the screen. We can talk. I mean, a lot of people just ain't.
On national television. Yeah.
I had to, Skip. Cause somebody might see. Skip, that thing you got on your chest, you still got a relationship. I can tell because you got it on with these people for years.
Till this day. Over 30 years under contract with them for over 30 years.
But mama wanna come and tell you how to do this thing.
But if I was to tell the parents, hey man, AND1 is about to sponsor us, we're gonna have AND1 from head to toe. The parents might not want because they want their kid in Jordan.
Jordan don't sponsor too many teams. Jordan don't sponsor something.
Now, when I was young, I remember one time my team was sponsored by Dikembe Mutombo when he had those shoes, them shoes.
Them big old ugly shoes.
Yeah. When we put them on, we shut our mouth, we put them on, and we balled out of control. We were balling. 2 years later, another ugly shoe came in. Xavier McDaniel. The X, he had the X.
Yeah.
It was a nasty X on the side of your shoe.
Yeah.
We put them things on and balled out of control. We didn't say, ew, I'm not wearing. No, these are free. Oh, give them here.
New generation.
And that's one thing. That's another thing about this generation that has it made the kid, like, even as a parent myself, I fall victim to it.
Okay.
We make these kids soft because they don't have to want for nothing. Nothing drives them. See, when you're young and you don't have a lot of stuff, then you're driven, right? They don't have to worry about. As soon as the Jordans come out, we're running to the store to go grab them. Right. PlayStation 5 come out, I ran to the store and grabbed the PlayStation 5 for my son. He didn't have to want for it. I didn't make him work and drive. Like, show me why you want it, right? So those are some of the things too. We're softening the kids up, right? And not tough enough out there. You see a lot of crying. Jim he runs to me. You see a lot of crying there. What are you crying on the court for? No one did anything to you. Go away. Because the coach, because I yelled at you? I got on you because you got 5 turnovers? You crying? Yeah.
Yeah. Now you mentioned about the kids, the culture. And somebody in the Boom Boom Room asked this question to you. Is this just a Houston thing, a Texas thing? You being from the East Coast of New York City, how is it compared in Houston? Well, how is it in Houston compared to the East Coast in New York? That culture, those parents not respecting or asking the question, understanding the history of what they are privy to being that close to.
Well, it used to be isolated cities and states, but now because of the internet and everything, it's everywhere. I've been in New York. I've gone to New York several times to check on the AAU climate out there, and it's the same thing. It's no different. Parents getting into it with coaches, kids pouting about their playing time, and it's everywhere. It's everywhere because what you have is because of the ability to self-promote. Everybody wants their kid out there for those reasons. You gotta remember now, kids make highlight tapes. Parents break up these highlights. You got all these people covering the stuff. Well, it's your Baller TV and all these different streaming services that cover the events, and then now you could break down your own film, put it together, send the highlight out. So parents want their kids out there sometimes for those purposes. for those purposes, just to promote their kid. You know, just to say they can forget the fact that they missing the point that you just putting out a highlight tape is only going to show the good. Why you don't put the highlight tape that he had 4 turnovers and went 1 for 19, right? And they don't understand. Eventually, those coaches are going to see that. Those coaches are going to see it because we played in your event. You don't think the coach is sitting behind watching Baller TV at the Kingwood Live and they're watching the whole game? So you could put this highlight reel out of these kids all you want. These coaches don't watch the whole game from their house. So that's why the climate is like that, because of technology and the fact that you can self-promote in yourself. It's out there in a world where basketball is dominant in New York City. Basketball is king. It's probably getting worse there than it is here.
Wow. And of course, said it from the legend themselves, Ray Foster and Skip Maloof. I want to ask you, Skip, I'm tossing questions to you from both our YouTube and our Facebook platform. We affectionately label them as the Boom Boom Room, because I think back when we first started the Chop Shop, Hatter and myself, they referred to us as Claude and Ray, the 2 fictitious characters from the movie Life.
Oh yeah,
so Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. So that's the Boom Boom Room. Now, first, Doug Jones wanted you to know that he still has those sneakers for one of your players whom he had from 2 weeks ago. So I'll make sure
Doug,
this weekend.
Tell Doug I appreciate that, because the kid did ask for him in practice the other day.
Well, that's a good thing. So let the young fella know that he should get them this weekend at the Greater Houston Live. Also, Doug says he wants some of those N1 Tachis, Taicai. Tachis. He said they're bad as hell to this day. He wants.
I don't know if they're making them. What I do is I call back to my guy, my rep, Dexter Gordon, and ask him if he still has them. If he has some, in the box that they still. But sometimes you got to wait till those to be re-released.
Well, and so Dexter is still with N1.
Yeah, Dex, man, and Dex grew up in Texas. Yeah, he moved to New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still a man over there.
Well, you guys, Dexter, and I mean, one thing about relationships is just people I think a lot of people really don't put enough respect on the relationship component of not just basketball but life. I met Dexter a while back doing our open gym series that's called Rucker on Wood. And because Dexter had contacted us about, hey, we was infringing on the trademark from Rucker Park. He flew down to Rucker on Wood. He saw what was going on, this open gym setting. And next thing you know, N1, he got the N1 people to look into it and saw video stuff and how everything was going on. And next thing you know, N1 had made uniforms for Rucker on Wood, reversibles. I think 200 and something uniforms they made, which we still use to this day because of the craftiness of that fabric. It can't fade; they're unfadable. Right. And so, shout out to Dex, man, good guy, man, great guy. Now, what I want to ask you also is, Barry asked you, can you take us through some of them trophies you got behind you, to your trophy collection?
Man, some of these might be old, man. That's San Antonio Nationals there. This one here is the Next Generation Sports Championship. We have so many, man. We Ball. This one here is the Takeover Tournament Champions. Nike Explosion in Dallas. One over here.
So all of those trophies are from your 6th grade team?
Yeah, well, some of these is when they 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Right? Some of these are recent. Some of them are last year. Yeah, they've been doing their thing for quite a while.
Wow, and also
big shout out to those
now,
kids.
If you could change something about grassroots basketball, 2 things, what would they be?
Whew, man. That's tough, man. Because so much that needs to be changed, man. To be honest with you, the main thing that needs to be changed is it needs to be a strong worldwide like committee, right? We need to do a better job governing this thing to take out all the extra curriculum that goes into participating in these events. From kids playing up and down, from teams using players that shouldn't be playing in that grade, for quality coaching. Even we also have to assess the refereeing. Refereeing plays a big factor in this as well. A lot of times these referees are just there for the take, and that's for the whatever the fee is. They want to ref 5 and 6 games, get their fee, don't care how they ref in a game, things of that nature. So one thing that could help is if it could strengthen more of a governing body to strengthen it, and each city and state, we have to get on board with that, so that, because we all travel within this game, you even yourself, just because you do Thomas here, you still have a strong influence on Thomas that's in going Vegas. You know what I'm saying? So it can work if we all have it. Just find a way to govern this a little better, and just create a better culture and better environment. Even from parents getting a control standpoint with parents. We need to stop being lenient on parent control in the event. People have to get kicked out of gyms, and if that's it's because they're taken away from the big picture, and that's these youth kids and girls, these young men and women that are trying to pursue their career. It's taken away from them being able to come play in a safe and controlled environment. So and it all comes down to having a strong governance, just the way we govern this thing, and just from a whole 50 standpoint, we all need to get together and do this so these kids can have a great time out there.
And Kevin Freidman asked, "Are you going
That's
to
my guy.
Vegas this summer?"
You know what? I don't know if I'm taking my team, because I haven't heard of any tournaments that are going on, because of they still are limited to what they're doing in Vegas as far as those tournaments. But if there's a tournament out there, I'd love to. If not, Kev, you already know I'm going out there for my birthday. So any time between, my birthday's July 24th, so anytime from July 24th to the 30th, I plan on just going out there, even if it's
Guess who's doing a tournament during that time?
Who's doing
your
something?
New York legend, Gary Charles, is in Vegas during that time.
He is going to have it on.
Now, what I learned over the weekend, that Las Vegas will officially be wide open, I want to say June, the first weekend of June. That's either first weekend of June or first weekend of July. And because there's a Dana White, there's a big UCF or UFC fight, and it's going to be at the T-Mobile Center, and they're opening up this. It's going to be wide open. They're selling all the seats, so that's going to be. So I'm quite sure. I want to say it was first weekend in June. You guys in the Boom Boom Room can verify that. But if it's going to be open, it's definitely going to be open in July. So yes,
we'll love to go back to Gary Charles. I think when my kids in 4th grade, they came in second in Gary Charles' Vegas tournament. So I can't wait. That's my guy, Gary Charles. He's, like you said, relationships. Gary's known me since I was 14 years old, and we've been in contact with each other always since now, and till now. And because we have a good rapport and build a good relationship with one another. He already know I'm a phone call away. I'm just gonna call him to get the kids out there.
Herb asked you, how many kids have you helped to get into college?
I probably have over 15, maybe 20, probably more than that. See, the problem, a lot of people only see me coach the Texas kids. They have no idea I coach the New York kids as well. So from 2008 to through 2012, I was, even while I was, so 2007, 8, 9, while I was still playing NBA, I took the summer to coach my New York kids. I've had kids go to Tennessee, St. John's, you name it. I even coached a pro. I even coached Maurice Harkless. Maurice Harkless on my team. He's a pro. I put kids in low D1s, mid D1s, high D1s. Right? I got kids that's overseas right now. But again, I'm the type of look. I'm well renowned. My name, my game. I don't toot my own horn. I never throw that out there to kids. I'll let those kids come back and speak to the parents and the people, and they're gonna. I let my former players tell them everything I've tried to teach them, how hard I was on them. They can tell you everything I've told them and showed them was everything that they went through when they went to college, where they played in pros, or what they're doing right now overseas. I got a young man that went to, God bless his soul, the coach of Texas Rio Grande, who passed away of COVID.
Lou.
What's my man?
Lou Hill?
Yeah. Lou Hill.
Yeah.
I sent the kid to Texas. I sent the kid to Texas Rio Grande. They was actually Texas Pan Am before they switched over to Rio Grande. University of Texas Pan Am. I sent the kid out there. Kid is overseas playing now. So my relationships and everything I do, man, speaks for itself, man.
Wow.
Now I want to ask you something. We'll take you back. We were talking about the N1 days, and you being, of course, from New York City. You grew up in the street ball culture, and found a way to be one of the very few to get to the highest level as a result of your organized and your street ball, the blend of those components.
Right.
First part of the question is, what other players made it to the NBA as a result of playing the N1 circuit that you did? And also, luckily being in H-Town, the Fundy was going, I guess, on his down tick. It still was good when you was there, but it was kind of fizzled on out.
When I was, it was still dynamite.
Yeah, and so taking, they both were governed by the Pro City League after a
Nike
couple
Pro
years
City.
ago.
Yep.
Nike, Kevin Granger got a deal. I think at that time, I think Merle Code was actually part of the NBA division with Nike, and Merle actually gave Kevin Granger his deal to run him and Kevin Allen to run it in the Fundy. What I want to ask you, never ask anybody this. Give us your top 10 all of modern day history, guys that you've seen with your eyes. Just say, let's say the 70s on up. Street ball players, let's say New York, in the country, your top 10 that you've seen. Who's your all-time street ball team?
I'll try. It's gonna be hard, but to go back to the N1 thing,
I got my pen out here. I'm gonna write this down, Hannah. I'm writing this one down, Hannah.
I'm the only one that made it, from that style of basketball. The only one that made from that style of basketball to be able to cross over from that style of game from a physical and mental standpoint, because that's how hard it is to cross over. It's not just physical, it's mental too. But for street ball, it's hard, man. It's hard to say, man. These players are good from worldwide, man. I mean, a guy passed away from Oakland, California, Demetrius Hook Mitchell. They did a documentary on him. Gary Payton, Jason Kidd, all of them they stand by his street ball credibility. This man was jumping over cars and doing all this stuff in the early 80s and mid 80s. He's one. A guy in New York City that was phenomenal, had a stint in the NBA, CBA, tried to go to UNLV, Lloyd Sweet Daniels, one of the greatest street basketball players ever to grace the game of basketball. You got a lot of New Yorkers in there. Joe Hammond, Fly Williams.
I remember that name.
Those guys.
Fly actually played in the Houston Pro-Am a couple of years. Am I mistaken? He came down here and played down here.
More than likely, Fly went everywhere. You got cats out of the Baltimore DC area. Another guy, the first guy with my nickname, Skip Wise out of the Baltimore DC area. He was the first initial Skip with the basketball.
Okay.
Who else we got? It's so many, man. The list goes on, man. I had another name on my tip of my tongue. I can't think of his name right now. Woo! How many I got right there?
I got you with 5.
5. Okay. I'm gonna put myself at 10, so you can put me down on the list. I mean, well, look,
that's
not
good.
because I said it. Look, Hatter, not because I'm saying it. The world has spoken on
Yeah,
you.
you got to put yourself down. You got to put
hey,
yourself
say it
down.
with your chest in.
I never anointed myself the greatest street boy. The world has anointed me that. So
it's another guy up there who So Dr. J wasn't a street legend?
Yeah, you could throw. Listen, I was gonna say those 2 names. I was trying to throw a little more names out there that people aren't aware of. That's
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, we'll start with the 80s, Hatter. That way now we cut a line in the sand.
So that's actually where I'm at is with the 80s and all that stuff. So
okay.
So I got 5. If you throw my name on it, that's 6. But to be quite honest with you, I'm trying to think if anybody in Chicago I'm missing. But see, all these guys in Chicago wasn't street dude. These dudes they actually did everything, high school, pros.
Yeah.
Ooh. So if you want to go back to the 70s and early 80s, you got
no, don't go to the 70s. Let's stay the 80s on up.
I can't be biased to the New York guy because it's easy for me to mention all the New York guys. You know, like the Master Raw. Master Raw was one of the greatest street ball guys in New York City.
But that's where you were the most when you were doing it.
No, but see, I was able to go place and see and hear about some of these other guys. I know like even Philly. I'm missing a name in Philly, but like I said, they might be 70s guys.
Right.
I'm trying to. It's tough. It's tough to get to the 80s and 90s guys. So, I mean, but like I said, if I had to round that list off, it's 6 right now. I would have to throw Dr. J, Connie Hawkins, Earl of Pearl Monroe.
Oh my goodness.
And I would say World Be Free.
Oh. Yeah.
People don't understand. People don't underestimate World Be Free's street ball legend. Him going from New York City to Philly to DC, all these places to and just dominate and do what he do.
You didn't mention Pee Wee Kirkland.
I left Pee Wee off. See,
yeah. I was trying to remember that name.
I definitely throw Pee Wee in there. Definitely. I can't. That's what I'm saying. So many names. It's just hard to just go to all of them. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough list to even put out there.
Whoa, what about Lamar Odom?
Well, not much of a street ball.
Oh, he wasn't street. Okay. I got it.
I mean, he played a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You talking about, so like when I talk about street ball guys, you predominantly because of whatever travels in life, they were subject to have to hone their skills predominantly in street-based tournaments.
I got you.
Even though, but the problem is, even though street-based tournaments are like you still playing against college, pro, overseas guys, but these guys stood out and showed themselves. It's okay. Like for example, what's my man down there? I just spoke to him the other day. We call him Legend out here, Dwayne.
Yeah,
Rogers. Dwayne Rogers.
Yeah. I had a chance to get a chance to see and watch him play, and I'm till this day I'm amazed. I wasn't around here when he was really dominating everything, but I was amazed when I had a chance to play with him in the Fundy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And he carried our team, and I'm on the team, and he was carrying our team. Like sometimes we need a bucket. Yo, here, D.
Oh, he's a certified getting him one.
Right.
He gonna get him one in bucket. He gonna get him a bucket.
Yeah.
Stella, get the dog.
Uh-oh.
I like that. I like that.
That's the parent. That's one of them parents that you didn't play their son in the tournament the other week. That's what that is at the door. One of them parents coming. They want to have a talk with you right now.
Hey, trust me, dude, I had those parents. They, like I said, they wouldn't start their own team, man. Salute. I root for them kids, man, and I want nothing but the best with them kids. But the only scary part about those kids is I'm scared that their parents are gonna lead them down a foxhole, man.
What else we got the end, Jimmy. We got the end because
we got to get land this plane, man. We just had a good blast to the past, and of course, Herb and Thaddeus Moody mentioned Larry Mundane, and that's a Chicago legend.
Yeah, there we go. See, Larry Mundane. See what I'm saying? The only thing, look, I love Chicago ball because my idol growing up was Isaiah Thomas. That's why I tried to win. That
was mine.
I wore number 11 from the time I was little all the way to college. Only reason I couldn't put number 11 on here in Houston because Yao Ming had it, and too much was vested in Yao Ming, too much jersey sales and everything. So I couldn't get it, even though Yao even offered it to me. You know, I told him I want 11 but they wasn't gonna do it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the Lord, Money in the Bank. That was his nickname, Money, back in the old days. But I mean, it's so now. I didn't realize you were the only player from the N1 circuit to make it to the NBA. And somebody else asked, why didn't Hot Sauce make it to the NBA?
Man, shout out to Hot Sauce, man. But to me, you want my honest opinion, personal opinion, Hot Sauce was more of that N1 style of basketball. You know, tricks, shirt, rolling the floor. He was more of that. You know, I don't know, if people don't. It's funny, man, and they think it's easy to make it to the NBA.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yes.
They do, man.
Yes. Yes.
And here's the thing: all those playground legends we named, they can tell you how hard it is, and they were better than a lot of NBA players when they were dominating on the playground and dating. And some of them had a shot, but again, they can tell you about their travels in life at those times. While they deferred, while they just said no to the NBA or only lasted maybe a month or two in there, because some of them played in the NBA. But
I think some of those guys, had and Skip, they saw during that time, during that phase. I'm sticking a little bit. I'm back. I think during that phase, a lot of those guys and their fans saw a person like Percy Miller come this close to making the NBA.
He didn't come that close.
Well, I mean, dude, Ada, he got to play in preseason games and had a stint in the pre. That's that close. So I mean, that's closer than most. So somebody say, well, if Master P can get in there,
it could be
I know
other
I
reasons too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Shout out to Master P trying to pursue his dream and career, but it could be for other reasons too. Sometimes it could be for what he brings to the table. From a advertising and money standpoint. You see what I'm saying?
Means a guy like that means a guy
it's
like
right now.
A guy
Nas,
like
if Nas could play, so right now, let's say with no COVID and how bad the Houston Rockets is, from a record standpoint right now, because the players aren't terrible. It's just the record is bad. What if Nas was to play? You know what he brings to the table? 40, 50,000 more fans to the situation, which, you know what I'm saying? So that's probably sometimes those kind of guys could make it. Master P had some ability, but I don't know if he was going to make it or last in the NBA. I can't say that, man. I can't say that.
Yeah.
The NBA is tough. Look, before we go, look. Let me tell you how tough the NBA is.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you how tough the NBA is. Look at a night. This could be your night. And I'm telling you, these are the guys that I was playing against. And you guys, y'all could attest to this. Tonight I'm guarding Stephon Marbury. Tomorrow I got Baron Davis. That's a back-to-back game. I got a day off. I come back the third night. I got Steve Nash. 2 nights later, I got to guard Chris Paul. Now you tell me if Master P could be hanging around and all that. And that's just to name a few. I might have 2 days off. I got to fly to Detroit and guard Chauncey Billups. I'm just letting you know. Now look at these damn up. And then on that same trip to Detroit, we fly to Philly. I got to guard Allen Iverson. I just gave you 4, maybe 5 Hall of Famers.
It's different.
I was able to stay on the court with these guys for 11 years.
Yeah.
Say, man, and people walk by you in the hallways like you don't even exist, and bump you and don't even say excuse me. That's how
and Jim, you know what, Jim? And the crazy part about it is I keep walking, and when I see that fedora, I come straight over and sit down, talk with you. I see Doug over there at Hatter.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go talk to people that know this game, right? Even think about this. They might walk by, they might carry on like buffoons in the gym, and you sitting there with your pen and pad in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Doug's sitting there twittering at the game. You won't believe what I just saw in these so they walking by me, but yet they walk by you too and carry on them gymnasiums, and they don't know you about to write this up. These are how crazy. This is how mind-boggling this whole landscape has gotten. Like, they walk by Doug, and Doug is twittering at the moment.
Yeah.
They're cursing each other out. They're carrying on, and he's twittering at the moment, on the spot.
And if
King went live on the spot.
And guess what?
On the spot, scouting.
And if I see it, I won't talk about it on the show. So yes, parents. Hey y'all, let's get right. Let's get right. But Jimmy, let's get out of here. Let's thank you, Skip, so much, man. I appreciate
always a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
We're gonna have to do this again now. We ain't gonna wait so long next time.
And Jim, man. Don't forget. Tell Mr. Jolivet to hit me up about this weekend installment so we can lock this in.
Good deal, man. We will do. And of course, guys, any of you guys that grassroots coaches that are watching this weekend, Greater Houston Live, that is the second of the 4 events that are produced by the JRB. Of course, that's Jim Hicks, Rick Nelson, Brian Jolivet. Will take place this weekend over at the gym. Going to be very well ran. You know that, to say the least. Very well ran that event will be. Also, we want for more information on that event, go to Above All Sports Hoops. AboveAllSportsHoops.com, and you'll see the information on how to reserve your slot. Meanwhile, we want to dedicate today's show to former Willow Ridge High School star and Baylor star as well, Nelson Haggerty. Lost his life this past weekend in a single car crash. He was a college coach. He was assistant over at North Texas, and Nelson Haggerty is loved by many, and not just restricted to the Houston area. He's the all-time leading assist giver in Baylor basketball history. That record still stands with 699 dimes that he dished out during his 4-year tenure. If you add that up, then you got to average about 6 dimes a game in order to pass that over 4 years. So he passed away, man. Our condolences and our hearts extend to the family of Nelson Haggerty. He passed away, young fella, man. He was only 47 years old. And so with that being said, we want to thank you guys for tuning to the Chop Shop. For those who have shared the show, thank you. For those who have not, if you would be so kind, share the show on your way out the door. Share the show. Don't be selfish. Just let other people know so they can get this great conversation, because you can also go back and watch this complete conversation with Rayful Austin's, a.k.a. Skip Tumalu, at your convenience later on this afternoon, tonight, and let somebody else watch it as well. On behalf of Robert Hatter, of course, myself, Jim Hicks, and we are the Chop Shop. We thank you. We'll see you guys in 22 hours. But right now, it's time to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this good Monday. We'll see you guys on tomorrow. Peace. We up out of here. Chop Shop.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter, you are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up. It's live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop.